Liquidity is so wide, it's so broad, and a lot of people, like everybody, have their different understanding of liquidity. Okay. Mhm. So some people call liquidity money. Some don't agree to that. That is not. Some argues that it's not money. But me, I would agree that liquidity is actually money because money actually drives the market. You understand? Not money from you and I, not our $10, but the institutions and the big players, and you know. So even as fundamentals like the happenings around the world, the the things that are holding a particular pair to the ground or that is making it bullish, everything still involves money, transactions, okay, buyers, sellers, and all that, okay. But we as retailers, we don't have access to such funds to influence the market, and that is why we study liquidity with our candlesticks, at least to tell us that okay, um, these are the possible areas that market is likely, or that big players are likely going to, you know. So the major, the one thing that you need to know tonight, if you don't pay attention to this class, but one thing that you must know tonight is that every high and low, there are liquidity points. Okay, there are liquidity points. Every high and low are liquidity points. Why? Because there will always be somebody out there that is going to place a stop loss, a stop loss at a low, all right, or at a high. There will always be someone out there that is going to place a stop loss at a low or at a high. And then you wonder why sometimes price will take out a low and then it buys, or price will take out a high and then it sells. When there are chunks of stop loss, a lot of stop loss at a particular zone, price tends to move towards that zone, all right, because there are a lot of liquidities there. Price tends to move towards that point where there are more liquidity. Okay, now this liquidity can be in maybe limit orders of stop losses or limit orders of entries. All right, for example, let's say someone wants to buy gold from here. Which time frame is this? 1 hour and 4 hours. So let me go to maybe 1 hour. All right. So let's say, for example, someone wants to buy from here. All right. Someone wants to buy, and then you wonder why market reads it for a lower point of interest. Sometimes market can read a particular point of interest because the liquidity that is there, the chunks of orders that is there, is going to drive price. Okay, it's going to drive price to move aggressively. Don't worry, you understand why you cannot choose this kind of point of interest for a buy or a sell. This kind of point of interest as it is right now. When we are talking about entry models, you understand better. Alright. So sometimes there can be orders at a particular POI. When I say POI, I mean point of interest, please. For those that are new, that are just joining us. There can be orders, a lot of orders at particular POI. Market will come, take it out, and still move towards the direction of your trade. There are lots of players waiting there, and most of them are retailers like us. Okay, that's why sometimes you will see us saying that when a point of interest is too obvious, when a point of interest is too obvious, there is a problem. It's not because we don't want you to buy or sell from there. It's just that it is too obvious that a lot of people are there. They are waiting at the same zone to take a trade. That is one thing that I told. I mean, some of you that know Kevin King. I mean, his group, Unions group, sometimes he talks about it. So there are some traders that were posting, that were talking about this 30-minute value gap. Of course, some of you know me to be a 30-minute value gap trader. But there was something that everybody was just looking at this place. Everybody was just waiting here. Go to the buy, continue from here, continue from here. Me, I was looking at this liquidity being taken out. Some of you that saw my buy on Friday, that I posted here, while some of them were bragging in their sell and all of that. But I still held on until the next week that gold bought aggressively on Monday. It became so obvious that this POI is going to be taken out. I just said this one that everybody is looking at this zone too. When you see everybody is having the same entry with you, there's a problem because it's now becoming too obvious. A lot of players are there waiting to take continuation, waiting to take reversal. You should hold on because the liquidity there, price needs the big players, they need to raid you out. Either they don't want you to join the move or they need your money, they need your participation to drive price. Okay, so price came, although it reacted, but it was not sustainable. Could not even take out the high and all the way down. Now, what did I do? I had two positions from this buy on Friday. So immediately price took out this liquidity, I added two more positions. That was, I don't even know. That risk was, I don't know whether it was out of confidence or I don't know. It just, as it took out the liquidity, I added two more positions. Market closed. And then Monday, aggressive buy. A lot of people were observing here. Now, I'm not saying that you should not say 30 minutes gap, of course, but it should not be something that people are talking about. All right, it should not be something that is obviously too obvious for every trader. Sometimes when a POI is too obvious, market will not come there, or when market comes, we take it out entirely. It is because the players that are there, market needs their liquidity to drive price, or market don't want them to join the move. It's so simple. That is how we interpret it as retail traders. Okay. Now back to the major thing. There are two sides of liquidity. There are two sides of liquidity. We have the buy side liquidity and we have the sell side liquidity. So we have buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity. Okay. Now the buy side liquidity is always at the resistance of a trend, whether it's a downtrend or uptrend. The buy side liquidity is always at the top. Okay. So every top, every high is a buy side liquidity. Every high, whether it's a higher high or a higher low or anything, every high is a buy side liquidity. Anywhere you see high is a buy side liquidity. Okay. Now, this buy side liquidity is caused by the stop losses of sellers. Okay, so let's define that. It's caused by the stop losses, stop loss orders of sellers. All right. Why the sell side liquidity is caused by the stop loss orders of buyers. All right. So let's say that if we say that buy side liquidity is caused by the stop loss orders of sellers, what do you mean? It means that, okay, for example, this is our high here. Let's say this is our high, right? This is a buy side liquidity because it's a high. Okay, just like I told you. Now let's assume you want to sell from that high. So we are using short position. Want to sell from that high. All right. So we want to sell it. Let's say this is our PY. Let's say this is where we are selling from. So put our two here and then we want to sell from here. Now our stop loss is going to be at this high. Okay. That was come to us. Price to take out the high. Okay. Now this there are lots of stop losses at this high. Don't forget that we're even in a bullish trend. A lot of people are placing their stop losses at this high because they will be like, okay, what's come to us, the high will be protected or something. So the stop losses that sellers are setting here, they are the buy side. Buyers are coming to take it out. Market is buying to come and take it out. Or now this for the sell side liquidity is always at the bottom. Sorry. The sell side liquidity is always at the bottom. For example, let's say we are this is our low, and market wants to buy. You can see how market took out this low and then started buying. But your bias is bullish. Your bias is to buy, but market took you out, and you wonder why. Let's say you are buying here for example. This is for sell side liquidity now. Sell side is always at the support, it's always at the bottom. Okay, every low is a sell side liquidity. Take note. Every low is a sell side liquidity, every high is a buy side liquidity. So we now set our stop loss at this, trying to protect this low. So the buy side, the sell side liquidity is caused by the stop losses of buyers. Market is selling towards the low. All right. So market is coming, selling towards the low. Take out the sell side liquidity before. So what did market do here? Used, consumed all the orders that are here, both limit entries and stop losses before the move. Okay. So some of us will call this manipulation, which is understandable. Manipulated the low, and then so what happened here? Twice, this is our fair value gap here, right? This is a fair value gap here. What happened? Price took out the the players that are here with their limit, their buy limits and their sell limits. Their stop loss limits for the FVG. So price used the FVG for confirmation, but the liquidity was taken first. Liquidity was taken first. So now having this understanding, we can now tell that the major reasons why you should study liquidity are first, the major reasons why you study liquidity are number one, to know the possible areas to take entries after a draw of liquidity, right? And two, to know the possible areas. I'm saying possible because this technical analysis is not is a probability tool to set our targets and liquidity targets. Okay, so these are the two reasons why you should study liquidity. If there are other reasons, you are just playing. If there are other reasons why you are studying liquidity, you are playing. These are the only two reasons why you should study liquidity. First, to know the possible areas to take entries after a draw of liquidity. Okay, now after a draw of liquidity, so let me make this. Okay, after a draw of liquidity, some of us will take entry with this fair value gap. Now, for those of us that miss entry here, we can take go to a lower time frame, look for entry. Why are we taking that entry? First, we are in a bullish trend. Secondly, market has taken a liquidity, a low. Okay, market has taken liquidities. Market have taken liquidity. Okay, market have taken liquidity. So, as this low have been raided, a lot of others have been taken out. So now you are taking entry. Liquidity have not been taken. You have no business in taking entries. Liquidity have been taken. Okay, where can I possibly take an entry? Secondly, to know the possible targets. Okay, we've taken out this liquidity. We are in a bullish trend. High, our external liquidity, which is our high, is the next target. Or is there an internal liquidity? The lower time frame target. Okay, so do not. There are other reasons why you are studying liquidity. You are not ready yet. These are the only two reasons why you should. Don't say you must know everything. You don't need to know everything to be profitable. You don't need to know everything to be profitable. You just need to find something that works. And that something that works can be as little as possible. So there are different ways of identifying liquidity points. I mean, I've told you already that every high and low there are liquidity points. But you cannot just be targeting every high and low. Like, I mean, if every high and low their target, you are the one that will say, oh, why did I set it? Why did I set target here? Oh, why did I not set target here? And stuff like that. Of course, we have a complete session for target narrative. That's a different ballgame. We are only talking about liquidity for now. So the first example of identifying liquidity points is the of course everybody should know this except for the new people among us. The session highs and lows Alright, session highs and lows. Like we have the London session. I'm not a session trader per se. Asian session. I can hold my trade in any session. New York and that. Sydney and all those. I can take my entry at any session. I can close my trade at any session. I can hold my trade through any session. So it's just that you need to study the, as in you need to always be ready to be flexible, and you need to always be ready to know where the big fish where the big fish appears most times per time. Maybe for like a month, it can be happening in London session. Maybe the major thing is happening in London session. So you need to be available on the chart at that time. Even if you are on the trade, you need to be available whether the market is going against you or not. Maybe Asian session, just like gold now. Everybody is saying Asian session, that's where it's happening now. So most of the guys that are trading gold, they are always off. I mean, they're always online, including me myself. I can sleep early to be awake in the midnight because I want to trade Asian session. Alright, or because I want to see how Asian session is going to play as I'm holding on to my trade. So it's always like that. Sometimes it can be happening in New York, and sometimes it can just be ranging in a particular session. So that being said, let's take for example, this is an Asian session. Let's say this is what happened during Asian session. Okay. So everything that happened here is during Asian session from, is it 11 p.m. I mean from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Let's take for example, this is what happened. Of course, this is not Asian session. This is like London. Yeah, this is London. Oh, Asian. This is Asian to London. But let's just take everything out. This is just an example, please. So ideally, this is the high of our session, our Asian session, and this is the low. That's the last low that was printed. Have you? No. This is where our low is here. This is the, of course, this is where I, okay, let's say this is where it is. So let's take this as our low, for example. So this is our low. All right. This is our, what are you talking about? So Jimmy, this is not time frame class. This is liquidity class. Please pay attention. I'm just trying to give an example. Okay, let's say this is our Asian session. These are the candlesticks that was printed in Asian session, and this is the high of that. This is the highest that price went. This is the highest that price went during the session. Okay, this is the lowest that price went during the session. Okay, this is the lowest that price went. So a session trader, maybe a London or a New York or Asian range trader, I don't really do sessions. So, but people, a trader can come and mark this high. That okay, this is what happened. This is the high of Asian session. This is the low of Asian session. A trader can come, mark out the high, mark out the low, and then okay, if market take the low, I will buy. If market take the low, I will buy. Or if market takes the high, I will sell. Oh, time zone. Sorry, what the time zone dimension. I was talking of GMT plus one, please. That was West African time. The time frame dimension for Asian just now, I was actually talking about GMT plus one. That's the time we use in West Africa. So a trader can come and say, okay, if price stays low, I will buy. I'll look for buy. Or if price takes the high, I will look for sell. Or a trader can come, look for an entry inside to target the low. Okay, maybe he sees a bearish confirmation and then the person will sell to target the low. Say, okay, I'm targeting Asian low. Asian low is my target and I'm out. Or a trader that takes a buy can say the Asian high is my target. After the Asian high is taken out, he is out. Alright. So traders basically just do this. They are trading liquidity, high and low of a particular session. Okay. Now, even sometimes I think they still trade session open and session close. I'm not a session trader. So another way of identifying liquidity points is by candle range. The one that your idolo on Twitter went to refine to CROT, that is claiming that is his own. It's not, it's old topic, alright? He just found something and then, sometimes I even feel like that guy and ICT, they work because they are friends, so they work hand in hand to create new stuff, give it a new name to be selling. Because there's no way that guy will just be claiming that he's the owner of CROT and then the other one is okay with it. So social media is not really like candle range liquidity. Yes, candle range liquidity just talks about a particular high or a low of the candle playing in between a particular high or low of the candle. For example, this 4 hours candle. Most times the candles are always like indecision candles, where the high and the low, they are almost the same. Okay, most times they're always like that. Most times, sometimes they are not, but most times they're always like that. The candles are always like indecision candles. Even in 1 hour, it's the same thing. Like you can find it in 1 hour, in 2 hours, 4 hours, daily. Basically just candles that looks like indecision candles. Price takes the high of the candle, then come for the low. Price takes the low of the candle, then come for the high. This one requires experience. This one is not the one that people will now come and asking me, how do I know the particular candle? This one is, you will need to study and study and study and have experience in order for you to even tell the kind of candle that. So it's experience that will tell you that, okay, since this high of this candle has been taken, of this 1 hour candle I'll be taking, I will sell to come and take the low. It's experience that will tell you that, nothing else. But the major thing that I want you to know tonight is that concerning this candle range liquidity is you must wait for price to come back inside the range before you will take your entry. For example, as price went all the way up now, you are not supposed to be selling low. Even though you know that it will come and take the low, you are not to be selling outside it. You must wait for price to come back inside. Price must come back inside the range. What do I mean by inside the range? You see it, this is the high and this is the low. Anything outside it, don't trade it outside. Don't sell outside. Wait for price to take it out, come back inside. So this 1 hour time frame, you can say, okay, let's go to 15 minutes to see the range. I know that this class will also raise many questions. We just entered the meeting now. I never even see anything yet. This is just introduction to liquidity. In order to trade this candle range liquidity, you must wait for price to come back inside the range. Look at this. Look at this. This is the 1 hour candle we marked just now, right? So look at how it is. This is 15 minutes. What do you do now? Price have taken out the candle, alright? So this is now like an order block. You took out the high of the candle. So now what happened? Price came all the way down. So now price created an entry opportunity here, maybe in the fair value gap, or so there's an inducement. I've not touched inducement. Inducement will be in our next class. There's an inducement, and then there's a fair value gap. Okay, so now you have an opportunity. Since you've seen that, okay, it's going to sell to come and take below according to your experience. This one is not only theory talk. Your experience must join. Price took out an inducement and then sold to come and take below. There must always be an opportunity for you to join when it comes inside. Alright. If you can get your experience to trade this stuff, you will be highly profitable with it. In fact, on gold is normal every week. It happens like that. Like I basically just see it. It's just that I don't trade like this, but I basically just see it every time. If I'm in a position and price takes out a particular candle, I can just come on this trade, let me just close it. Price will come and take out the low of this candle, or price come and take out the high of this candle. And really it will. But it's experience. I'm just introducing to you guys. For those of you that may be interested, you can see price give you an opportunity and then all the way down. The one that I marked under here, I think I marked one under here. Okay. So as price took out the high of that candle, or as price took out this low, which of them did we do? Okay, took out the low first. That 4 hours candle that I marked here. This is the low of the candle. Price took out the low first. What did price do? It still gave you opportunity to join. Okay, it gave you opportunity to join. This is the high of the candle. It was not taken out. It was the low that was taken out first. So as price took out the high, what did it do? It gave you opportunities to join. Price now engineer liquidity. I will teach engineer liquidity for the new guys among us. Use the nearest POI. Many people call it this trading on Twitter. Some of them still, although some of them still took some L. So price now, see, if that candle is going to actually take out the high, it creates opportunity for you to join. So there's no need for you to be rushing outside it. Wait for it to come inside first. Wait for it to reclaim inside. Please, it's so important. Don't guess it. You gave me one opportunity here, give another opportunity here through fair value gap and engineer liquidity. Before it took out the high, before it came to take out the high, I think even give another opportunity here. This should be like a 30-minute fair value gap here. But it gave two opportunities. You can see it before it came for the high. So let's go back to 4 hours and see the candle. Okay. You can see the 4 hours candle. Price took out the low first and then went for the high. I can see that after price took out the high, what happened? Retracement, another opportunity to. So with this kind of retracement now, look at this. With this kind of retracement, price took out the low of this candle first and then came for this high. That's another candle range. That is why sometimes this is one of the things that I trade with now. You guys should just pay attention to what I'm trying to say now. Sometimes when price take, if I'm in a buy and price take out a high a of an indecision candle first, instead of taking the low first, there is a problem. I always doubt if that trend is going to move if that trend is going to be continuously moving towards my direction without a retracement. All right. If price takes out a high of that candle first, I will always sense a problem. Like this on Friday when I was on this buy, I just when this 30-minute indecision candle printed here, I was just praying that market should come and take the low first. Market should come and take this is a topic for another day. When I'm showing you guys some things that something that I discover from good, like from personal studies, we'll talk about this again. Sometimes when an indecision candle is forms like this, you should be praying if you are on a buy, you should be praying that market take the low first. If it takes the high first, there's a problem. There's a problem. Just like when market created this candle now, this bullish candle here. Alright. Market took out the low first. I had all the confidence to buy from you from the available 30-minute level. If market are taking the high first, there's a problem. Mean that market wants to take out the high first, then to sell aggressively. The market is taking out a high first and you are on a buy. There's a problem. Means that now trend market is not ready to do much yet. So let's go to the next one. We have another example. Okay, we have talked about session lows and highs. We talk about candle range liquidity. Candle range liquidity is the one that this man expanded to CRT. Our daily highs and lows. Alright, our daily highs and that's daily candle liquidity. Some of you that know FZ, we trade daily candle liquidity sometimes. I don't know, we no longer trade it. Yeah, the class is recorded, sir, Mr. Oliver. It has to do with daily time frame. Okay, daily time frame. Sorry, right topics. It has to do with the daily time frame. So it's almost the same thing with our candle range liquidity, almost the same thing. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I even took a buy, because of daily candle liquidity. Sorry, I have to disappear everything so that I can see this thing clearly. You guys that want to read it, you can always go back to the video. So what did I do? First, I told you that the candle will always look like an indecision candle. Okay, so this is one of the candles that I saw that made me to believe that okay, market is likely buy because of this particular candle, the high and the low. So the low was taken out first, and by the special grace of God, market bought all the way to take the high. I've done this multiple times. It's the same reasons why I was able to even buy confidently. Market took the low first on the Monday aggressively, then Tuesday printed, and then Wednesday all the way up. So I now use that 4 hours candle. Market took out the 4 hours candle using the daily time frame as my first reason to buy. So I was just using lower time frames to look for entry and all of that. But I've seen the candle already. So this one also requires experience. I'm just telling you guys. Sometimes markets take a low of a candle on daily time frame to target the high, or take a high of a candle in the daily time frame to target the low. Market is basically dealing with liquidity. Okay, market is basically dealing with liquidity. You can see all this, what's happening here. Market is basically dealing with. So you can see how market is presenting them individually. Market take out a high and go for the low. Market take out a low, then go for the high. If you are in a buyer, market is taking out lows of candles first. You should be thanking God. By the time market start taking lows of, taking highs first before lows, there's a problem. And that you can see what happened here. Market first took out this high. Market bought and took out this high first, and what happened? All the way down. That's where the problem started. I had to close this trade because I was seeing that the market take out this high first. I have to take out this high first. This particular one, sorry, this particular candle. So you can see this candle look like a doji candle, and market is taking out the high first. I was now like, there's a problem. Market is going to come for the low, and as it's coming for the low, it's not going to be gentle. Just like as market take out the low, and as it's coming for the high aggressively. There's also previous weekly high and low. It's also close to your daily candle liquidity. Previous weekly high and previous weekly low. There are also points of identifying liquidity. Alright, you can see. Let me remove this reference. The same reason why there's one of my guy now that is bullish on gold. I think that next week is going to buy because of this candle. That he said market have taken out the low. He's hoping the market will take out the high. That's what you see. Me, I've not seen anything yet. I think whether it's TechFish that asked me a question concerning this. I can't really remember who asked me during that um, Saturday and the Sunday night. So this is what I marked for him. That I'm seeing the price will come and take out this. Will come for this fair value gap. Take out this bearish candle low first. Then come for this fair value gap. It's not just about coming for the fair value gap. Oh. If price take out this high first before coming for this fair value gap, the probability of it holding is very low. But if market take out the liquidity first, that's take out the low first before coming to the fair value gap, it has chances of moving up because the high have not been taken. I don't know if you guys get what I'm trying to say. It is the same thing that happened here. Yeah, the same reason why I'm not always in a rush to make my decision as per bias, so I'm not always in a rush. And I check everywhere, weekly, daily, 4 hours. I'm not always in it, but once I'm able to get that particular direction, like I'm able to tell where price is going to, I will trade and trade towards there. So this is what I saw in weekly December during Christmas period. This is what the candle I saw that made me to start. Was it December? No, December, January, thereabout. Yeah, December. This is the candle that I saw on the weekly. That okay, price have taken out the low. Like I said, this is experience, and so you cannot just guess it. December, I saw the candle, and market just took out the low first. I was happy that market took out the low first. I wish it's the high first, then we would have probably even sell more. Okay, So sometimes it's like that. The market will create a particular candle, take out the low, and then take out the high. The major thing is that for you to be in a safer place, wait for price to come back inside the box before you find entry. If your experience is more than that, then you can look for a buy before it come back inside the box. But make sure that you know what you are doing. Okay. We also have previous monthly. I want to go into that. It's also the same thing. So I say legs don't lost me. You guys have not seen it. This is just an introduction to liquidity. Okay. Now the range, I mean the trend line liquidity and all those internal range liquidity, external range liquidity, blah blah blah. Those ones are just forms of liquidity, and that is where inducements and engineered liquidity are bettered. So in our next class, we'll talk about inducement. All right, we'll talk about inducement in our next class. So this class is recorded. I will send it to everybody in the class recording so that we can go through it before our next class. I know there will be a lot of questions. All right.